While the world's eyes are locked on Silicon Valley and China's megafactories, a quiet revolution is unfolding in Africa, a breakthrough so bold, so disruptive, that even Elon Musk is paying attention, while China is scrambling not to fall behind. Could this be the technology that rewrites the future of energy and electric vehicles forever? When people talk about innovation, the usual names surface: Tesla, SpaceX, BYD, CATL. But what if the next global disruptor isn't coming from California or Shanghai, but from Harare, Lagos, or Johannesburg? Africa has long been underestimated, often portrayed as a consumer of technology rather than a creator. But now that narrative is shifting, and the shift is dramatic. Recently, African engineers and inventors have unveiled a self-sustaining energy technology that challenges one of the biggest bottlenecks in the EV industry: the dependency on charging infrastructure and expensive lithium supply chains. Imagine a vehicle that doesn't need constant recharging, or a power source that outperforms traditional batteries in endurance, cost, and accessibility. That's the promise Africa is putting on the table, and it's sending ripples across boardrooms in Palo Alto and Beijing alike. For Elon Musk, the vision has always been clear: accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. But Tesla's empire, like every EV manufacturer, is built upon lithium-ion batteries, gigafactories, and charging networks. If Africa's breakthrough proves scalable, it could undercut Tesla's core advantage, changing not only how cars are powered, but how energy itself is consumed globally. This isn't just competition. It's the kind of innovation that forces even pioneers like Musk to rethink their strategy. And then there's China, the undisputed leader in EV production and battery manufacturing. With companies like BYD and CATL dominating supply chains, China has invested billions to secure cobalt, lithium, and rare earth minerals, many of which, ironically, come from Africa itself. Now imagine Africa moving beyond just supplying raw materials to becoming the source of finished, world-changing technology. For China, that's not just a challenge, it's a nightmare. This development isn't just about cars. It's about energy independence. Entire nations across Africa, plagued for decades by unstable power grids, could leapfrog into a new era, skipping the fossil fuel dependency and jumping straight into a future of clean, self-powered systems. And when you solve energy, you solve everything: transportation, industry, healthcare, and digital connectivity. The world has underestimated Africa before, but this time the stakes are higher. Elon Musk knows it, China knows it, and soon the entire global energy market will know it too. But here's where things get even more fascinating. This breakthrough is still in its infancy, which means the global scramble has just begun. Investors are circling, patents are being filed, governments are quietly negotiating behind closed doors, and intelligence reports suggest both American and Chinese corporations are already trying to secure exclusive access to this African innovation before it reaches the global market. This isn't just about engineering, it's about geopolitics. Whoever controls the next wave of energy technology won't just dominate electric vehicles, they'll hold leverage over entire economies. Think about it. Oil shaped the 20th century. Whoever held oil control power? But in the 21st century, energy independence, battery dominance, and self-powered systems would decide who leads and who follows. And this puts Africa in a historic position. Will these nations keep ownership of their innovation and scale it for their own people first? Or will foreign powers swoop in, buying up rights, patents, and companies, leaving Africa once again as just a supplier rather than a leader? For the first time, Africa isn't just a source of resources, it's a source of revolutionary intellectual property. That's a role reversal the world isn't ready for. So here's the burning question. If Africa holds the key to the next energy revolution, will Elon Musk adapt and collaborate, or will Tesla's empire face its first real existential threat? And will China, with its unstoppable manufacturing machine, let Africa lead or quietly take over the tech before it ever reaches the masses? Behind the scenes, sources say African innovators are already being approached with offers that sound too good to refuse: multi-billion-dollar deals, promises of global partnerships, and even direct government backing. But here's the twist. Not all inventors are willing to sell. Some insist this technology must remain African-owned. Designed first to solve Africa's own energy crisis, before fueling the rest of the world. That's a bold stance, one that could either protect the continent's future or spark an international tug-of-war unlike anything we've seen before. Elon Musk is no stranger to disruption. He's built Tesla on the very idea of breaking old models and rewriting the rules. But now, with Africa's breakthrough rising, Musk faces a choice. Does Tesla try to partner and integrate this African tech into its future EVs, essentially admitting that the next big leap won't come from Silicon Valley? Or does it double down on its own research, risking billions to outpace Africa's leapfrog innovation? Meanwhile, China isn't waiting. Rumors suggest state-backed companies have already sent delegations to explore joint ventures, factory partnerships, and even long-term supply chain agreements. The outcome of this struggle could mark a turning point for the entire world. Imagine a future where cars no longer depend on lithium, charging stations, or even the power grid. A future where Africa, for the first time, isn't just following the technology curve, but leading it. Space exploration has always been about power, how to generate it, how to store it, and how to carry it into the harshest environments imaginable. Elon Musk knows this better than anyone. SpaceX relies on energy systems that are efficient, compact, and powerful enough to survive the vacuum of space. Now imagine Africa's breakthrough, self-sustaining energy tech, scale for rockets, satellites, or even lunar colonies. Suddenly, the monopoly on advanced propulsion and power systems no longer belongs to NASA, SpaceX, or China's CNSA. Africa could leap straight into the front lines of the new space race. If Africa's invention proves durable, it could rewrite military strategy entirely. Think self-powered drones, tanks, or submarines, running far longer than today's tech allows. No wonder intelligence agencies are already tracking every move connected to this breakthrough. Meanwhile, global corporations are moving like chess players. Oil giants, desperate to stay relevant in the post-petroleum age, are investigating whether they can invest or sabotage. Tech companies are filing patents in related fields, trying to box in innovation. Inside Africa, a crucial debate is raging. Should this breakthrough remain fully African, or should the continent align with one of the global giants? Some leaders argue that partnering with Tesla could bring credibility, global markets, and rapid scaling. Others warn that such a move would simply hand the technology back to Silicon Valley, erasing Africa's chance at true independence. China, on the other hand, offers something different: massive infrastructure, financing, and speed. Beijing can build entire cities in months, factories in weeks, railroads in record time. But the price? Dependency. The question Africans must now ask is, does speed justify surrender? But beyond Tesla and China, there are other, less visible players at the table. European energy giants, Middle Eastern sovereign funds, and even secretive tech startups from India and Southeast Asia. Each one is lobbying, offering deals, whispering promises. And then there are the shadow players, the ones no one wants to talk about: intelligence agencies, black ops investors, entities willing to sabotage projects, suppress patents, or even disappear inventors if it protects their interests. History has shown us that when a technology threatens to overturn empires, those empires will fight back. At the heart of this storm are the inventors themselves, visionaries who, in many cases, built their prototypes in modest workshops, far from the gleaming labs of California or Beijing. They are suddenly thrust into a world of global negotiations, billion-dollar contracts, and political pressure. Some are already facing lawsuits designed to drain their resources. Others are targeted with smear campaigns, claims their inventions are impossible, scams, or frauds, tactics often used by threatened industries to kill disruptive ideas before they take root. But here's what's different this time. The world is watching. Thanks to social media, footage of these African breakthroughs has gone viral. Demonstrations of self-powered systems, electric vehicles running without recharging, and clean energy devices have reached millions online. This visibility makes it harder for the story to be buried. People across Africa and increasingly across the globe are demanding answers. Is this real? Who owns it? And why aren't we seeing it in the market yet? And all of this is happening under the pressure of time. Climate change is accelerating. Energy markets are unstable. Oil prices swing wildly. Power grids are crumbling under demand. The world desperately needs a solution, which means the question is no longer just if Africa's game-changing tech will spread, but when and who will control it first. Investigations reveal that what the world has seen so far may only be the surface. Beneath the headlines and viral videos lies a web of experimental technologies spread across labs, universities, and underground workshops throughout Africa. We're talking about breakthroughs in wireless power transmission, materials stronger than steel yet lighter than aluminum, and even systems that suggest near-limitless clean energy. If connected, these projects could form the backbone of an entirely new industrial revolution, one not controlled by the West or the East, but by Africa itself. Reports hint at collaboration between inventors across borders. Engineers in Nigeria exchanging designs with innovators in South Africa. Coders in Kenya refining control systems. Scientists in Zimbabwe running secret field tests. It's less like a single company and more like a movement. A decentralized network of minds sharing knowledge in real time, outside the grip of traditional corporations. And that terrifies the giants, because you can stop one company. But how do you stop an entire continent rising together? In Washington, Brussels, and London, policymakers are scrambling. Committees have been formed, white papers drafted. Some officials push for collaboration with Africa, pitching it as a new partnership for progress. Others, however, are urging containment, warning that if Africa's tech spreads uncontrollably, it could destabilize global markets, bankrupt legacy industries, and threaten national security. And here's where the irony cuts deepest. The very resources needed to mass-produce next-generation technology, rare earths, cobalt, platinum, are already sitting beneath African soil. For decades, Africa supplied the world while reaping little benefit. Now, with intellectual property and raw materials in its hands, the leverage is flipped. If African nations unite around this tech, they won't just enter the market, they could dominate it. Inside boardrooms from Silicon Valley to Shanghai, a silent panic is brewing. Executives know the risks. Shareholders demand answers. And yet, the more they scramble to contain the story, the more it spreads. Elon Musk, once a disruptor, now finds himself at risk of being disrupted. China, once the unstoppable juggernaut, is suddenly watching nervously. And the rest of the world? Holding its breath, waiting to see if this African wave will crash over everything we thought we knew about power and progress. Music swells, visuals of factories, labs, satellites, and African skylines flicker on screen. But the whispers don't stop there. Some insiders claim that Africa's innovators are preparing a global unveiling, a demonstration so undeniable, so breathtaking, that no corporation, no government, and no skeptic will ever be able to dismiss it again. The day finally arrives. In a packed auditorium in Nairobi, streamed to millions around the world, Africa's brightest innovators step onto the stage, no longer hidden in workshops or whispered in online forums. This is their moment. The lights dim. A vehicle rolls onto platform, sleek, futuristic, and humming with silent power. Cameras zoom in. The presenters demonstrate. No charging cable, no fuel, no hidden tricks. The car powers itself endlessly, using the technology skeptics said was impossible. The crowd erupts. Online, the live stream explodes with comments. Within hours, news outlets broadcast the same headline across every continent. Africa just changed the world. So when we ask, what happens when Elon Musk is on edge and China can't ignore Africa's game-changing tech? The answer is simple. The future itself shifts. Because innovation has no borders. And this time, the spark that will light the world comes from Africa. Music swells. Screen fades black with the words. The revolution has begun.